There is nothing. Only warm primordial blackness. Your conscious ferments in it. No larger than a single grain of malt. You'd ever, never, ever, never, ever, ever, baby. An inordinate amount of time passes. It is utterly void of struggle. No ex-wives are contained within it. Yes, it is.
An awareness creeps up on you. A mass lies hidden in your dead angle, soaking in some lurid acidic sauce. It's bloated and
Ex-love, ex-tenderness. It is foolish of you to resurface to the loss. Not after all the damage you've suffered to get here. Some of it irreversible. Do you really?
You wouldn't like it if I told you what was back there. Why'd you think you had to bludgeon yourself into oblivion? Or did you not?
Somewhere in the sore, bloated man-meat around you. A sensation. Like a fly to the ointment, your conscience sticks to it. The limbed and headed machine of pain and undignified suffering is firing up again.
The stench of liquor rises from your mouth, and with it, an ungodly headache. A fiery streak penetrates your skull, trying to force your eyes open. It's a sound, a clarity.
Somehow, you know what it is. A Caprice Camino motor carriage.
Свинарник.
This fan has two chain pull switches. One ends in a tiny fan, the other in a light bulb. A truly horrific necktie has somehow attached itself to one of the blades. The blades come squeaking to a halt. It should be easier to reach the tie now. You swoop up and catch the tie. Snap! It's released from the blade. What you have in your hand is a truly hideous necktie with 4 or 5 different patterns. A terrible mistake. Turn the lights off immediately. You can practically feel the photons burning up. Your eyes burn with photosensitivity. It's not good. You hear a jingle. Keys are clinking in the... It says whirling in rags on the aluminium key ring. There is a single key on the ring. The whirling in rags is a hostel cafeteria on the urban coast. window stands broken in its frame. Cold wind blows in. The shards face outward. Whatever broke this window came from the inside. A fine web of scarring covers the back of your right hand, but none more likely a projectile than a held object. There are no fragments on the floor from pulling. It is too large for a bullet, yet too small for a piece of furniture. You're looking for something heavy, like the green shoe that's on the hat rack in the corner, which, coincidentally, is congratulations. You smashed the window with your own shoe. Now you only have one. If you're lucky, a cool wind gushes in. Your toes curl up from the cold.
Всратый на редкость. Теньяк. Сам в третьем году. Шмотами куда. Отборный, блядь. Эти вам количество. Блять, свинарник. Меня аж бомбить нахуй. Какое-то графское логово нахуй.
A mirror hangs above a bent and broken sink. In a fist, was this not the same Elo that founds empires and laid? Probably not, no. Hot water sprays from the faucet's base, and steam covers. Suddenly, you realize you have no memory of the face that awaits you there, underneath the soft vapor. As you slowly reach your abort, you clearly have not thought this through. You won't like what you see there, and you will never unbecome it. Yeah, there is definitely something wrong with it. Where to even begin? There is the bloatedness, then the swollenness. It's like there's an up. Bet you are. Your nose feels like a small balloon in the middle of your face. It hurts when you honk it. It's not. It's swollen and snail-like, wriggling. Behold. You have no idea who this thing is, do you? It appears you're also dead. There's clearly rigor mortis on your face. Oh wait, is that an expression? Are you trying to make an expression? Please stop. It's horrible. You're scaring yourself. You can't, can you? It's like it's not even voluntary. And what does it even mean? What is the emotion you're trying to convey? Please promise yourself you are not going to try it on any of the ladies, whatever happens. That's right. Not even yourself. Go ahead, try something. It's not an order. It belongs in the new, the third decade of the current century. Enough time had passed from the failure. Things were good. It was smooth sailing. For Revachol, your city. That meant only if it doesn't rhyme, you're not out of the dazzling swirl of disco music in an open air boîte de nuit Somewhere in Revachol West, Guillaume's blonde mane appeared on the screen. He sang some bullshit. Then he made the expression. You have some understanding of the near history of disco. The rest is darkness. Aside from the useless fact that the motor carriage outside, everyone loved it. Maybe you thought some of the stardust would rub off on you.
Сука, рожа.
Maybe it did. Either way, it's all gone now. Only the grimace remain. The click is used to spur on a horse. It also features heavily in Guillaume Lemillion's regional mega hit. Some 20-odd years. There is a vast ocean of time between right now and it doesn't have to be. You can swoon over Guillaume and his champagne-corked smile whenever you want to. Maybe some of the stardust will return.
Надо помыть все нахуй. Ты не моешь нахуй. Ну дела. Блять. О. Ладно, вот он идет. Как на камеру получится. Камера есть? Управление. Где управление? А, вот управление. Управление. Вот камера не вертится. Прискорбно. Это крупная шизуха тут. Мотылочка какая-то, надо пойти второй этот забрать сначала.
Hello, officer.
The young woman raises a cigarette to her lips. Her eyes are brown and her face is speckled with birthmarks. A silver jumpsuit falls off her like scale armor, sparkling. This is the sparkle of too many nights out on the city.
No. Because you're a police officer, sir. I am, yes. Unless you've been feeding us a set of very well-rehearsed lies. You've been here for 3 days. On official... Couldn't say. In truth, so far, mostly drinking. Don't be so harsh on yourself. They let almost anyone be a police officer.
Беру пикапа нахуй.
Could it be because of the drinking?
Да, уйди сюда.
She hasn't had time to put her makeup on. This is her morning cigarette. She looks tired, her beauty waning faster than it ought to at her age.
Of course. Be careful, officer. They don't like the police around here.
You don't like the police around here.
Something stirs in you as she's about to go. Call it an instinct. She looks back at you, a light glinting off.
Yes? There was the usual ruckus. Loud. I couldn't say. It's impossible to hear people speaking from over here. Oh, yes. Various artists.
Oh, that. Yeah. Whoa. The less said about.
Oh, were huge where I come from. I was very young then, of course. Like 7. Life gets hard, but we go on. It would appear so. At around 2 o'clock, a slow, sad song started playing. Like organ music on repeat. That went on for quite a while. Yes, there was a church in there. A really small church. Like the small... That it doesn't matter anymore and that we're alone now. It was difficult to tell. The song itself was very quiet and soft, but yes, it was...
It's impossible to say whether she's being sarcastic or...
Then you started screaming and trashed the place. No, it didn't sound like there was a fight. A window was smashed. The tape player, probably. The song stopped. And furniture, too. A real destructathon. There was scream. There was. I think you screamed that you... I went out afterwards. Everything was quiet by then. Around 4 or 5. And that was it. The dock workers are pretty cocky. They think they're police enough. You're in a hostel, sir. We are in Revachol.
Revachol is the disgraced former capital of the world, divided into zones of control under foreign occupation. Half a cent.
You sure look like you're from Revachol.
Her accent suggests she is not from around here. She's from Aranier, another.
It's 51. The current century? Centuries don't have numbers. They have... Civilization has existed for 8,000 years. You're right. There is nothing funny about civilization. Glad to have been of assistance.
Хорошо. Где выход на балкон?
The window stands broken in its frame. The morning light hurts your eyes. The morning light hurts your eyes.
Что за хуйня? Пинжатина. А, типа...
The door is closed. There is no answer. You hear the shower being turned on somewhere inside. This door can only be opened with a key or from the inside. Still no answer. Still nothing.
Демонт. Что, по лестнице надо спускаться?
man in his late 20s stands behind the counter. Everything is cool between you and this guy. He's a big fan. Make some small talk. A competent work of taxidermy. The white and brown seabird lies among piles of... Looks like the bird was ripped off the shield. This is the great skua. The seabird is the symbol for the discovery. The small steel tag says as much. The great skua. Stegosaurus skua.
Look, your buddy is over there. Why don't you go and talk to him, okay?
He pretends not to hear you. Concentrate.
No, I'm not the bartender. I'm the cafeteria.
He's very animated all of a sudden. This seems like a touchy subject.
I have 3 cafeterias to manage. 3. Sylvie tends the bar here, not me. I'm only standing in. She just, you know...
His eyes dart from left to right. This man isn't.
So now you're a cop. Oh, forget it.
The man plucks at the seabird, frowning. A competent word. Looks like the bird was... This is the great skua. The small steel tag says as...
Look, your buddy... Why don't you go and talk to him?
He pretends not to hear you. Concentrating. A competent. Looks like the bird... This is the great skua. The small steel tag says...
Look, your buddy is... Why don't you go and talk to him, okay?
He pretends not to hear you. The man plucks at the seabird.
Hello, sweetie. You shouldn't keep your colleague waiting.
A colorful piece of plastic is dangling from his carabiner. On the counter, rolled out of his open hand, you see a blister pack of headache medicine. It's a dock worker's ID, doubling as a shift card and a job permit. A young, able-bodied man stares back at you from the photo. Santiago S. John. Your fingers find their way into the shackle, flicking open its spring-loaded gate. The metal loop. The man emits a loud snore. Is he about to wake up? Doesn't look like it, but you never know. You find a black paper note with a woman's profile on it. Seems like this woman lived centuries ago. The note says, 5 real. You slip the plastic ID card out of the loop and pocket it. Just for the record, you look nothing like the man on the document. The sleeping dock worker has little to say about your action.
Документы, говорит, хотя как полицейским, в принципе, можно достать.
As you approach the door leading out of the hostel,
Excuse me. I think you may be the person I've been waiting for.
on the sleeve of his bomber jacket, as well as on its back, are the...
Hello. I'm Kim Kitsuragi, Lieutenant, Precinct 50.
You realize he's waiting for your name. Concentration makes you squint your eyes. Your name should be deep gold and orange, like a forest fire looming on the horizon. But
Okay then. It looks like we had a little scheduling error on Sunday.
what he means is, He has been trying to meet up with you for 2 days, but you have been otherwise occupied.
Then we should ask him for a rundown of the area. Get me up to speed. It also wouldn't hurt to assure him the police are finally here. In full force, I mean. Have you mapped out the initial interviews? At the 57th, we like to prepare an initial list of persons of interest, and then just skim the surface. Prepare the field, get to know. Good. But even if you haven't, we'll have time for that after we take. Have you removed the dead body from the tree? Mm-hmm. Sure. But did you take it down from the tree? Does that mean the body is no longer in the tree? So, the body, where it has been hanging for 7 days straight. We should go there as soon as we are done talking to the owner. I can see you drank last night and the night before, and that you are still drunk. If you need something for your headache, there is a general store nearby. But as I said, the dead body should be our #1 concern. Talk to the manager. Then we go out back and take the body down. I was sent here to meet a detective from Precinct 40. I suppose you could be impersonating him. You could have gotten the insignia.
Inspectorate General means internal affairs. What he's saying is he's not from the Rat Squad, and
No need for derogatory terms. They're only doing their job. Yes. They're not just white rectangles. They bear a halogen watermark with... I would ask you to step into the headlights of my motor carriage. But again, it's none of my concern. You mean you don't have a badge? Losing your identification card is a serious matter. My vehicle has a shortwave. You can use it to report your badge missing. I would advise you to locate it as quickly. After you, officer.
Lieutenant Kitsuragi is now in your party. You can...
Так, что-то...
the man with the unimpressive beard notices you.
Mr. Gart, right?
Yes.
I am Kim Kitsuragi from Precinct 57. This is an inter-district investigation, so joining me from Precinct 41? Right. Now, I know it took us a while to arrive at the scene. It also took you a while to call her.
No, I only just got here. It was probably Sylvie who called you. She usually works the bar here. I'm only temporarily taking over her duties.
Do you have her number?
As a matter of fact, I do.
This sounds like something you can use to call this Silver.
You said you just got here.
What, of Martinez? No, I live in Jamrock. I only...
But you still know your way around. Yeah?
Yes, I know where some things are, but as
I didn't imply that.
He probably means this is where you step in and ask your questions. His face expresses profound doubt. Ask him about the body's location before asking if he killed him. People give up information in the more innocuous questions, which you can later use in the more sinister ones, not vice versa.
Behind this building, there's a courtyard. That's easy. See that door there? First you exit through that. Then, to your right, you should see...
This man means the heavy cavalry of the innocents Franco Negro, sweeping over the plains and nations of the enemies of mankind.
Haven't you asked me that already? What is it with you and this woman? She has nothing to do with this. Okay, you got me. She went away because of the dead body out back. And because I asked for her number. That's why Sylvie went away. I hope you appreciate that.
Thank you.
I asked an employee out. She didn't want to come, but felt obliged to. It was a bad idea. Now, what is so goddamn fascinating about that for you? It's got good for you. Was there something else? I'd like to get back. I don't know who killed him. I'm not the police.
This is it. He said they hoisted him up on a tree. Who is this they, if he doesn't know?
Oh, people are saying it was the union dock workers, that it was a lynching. The locals, customers, the people who eat here, a lot of dock workers eat here. Sylvie told me everyone knows the dock workers did it.
Знает.
Did the debarders themselves tell her this, or is it a rumor?
I don't really know. You'll have to ask her. I would suppose it's because they have nothing better to do.
You mean the strike?
Yes, the strike. The man they hanged was a security guard for the harbor company, I hear. A mercenary. The unionistas probably thought they'd send a message.
The lieutenant turns the page in the little notebook he's been scribbling in.
I don't know who killed.
This is it. He said they...
What are you, crazy? Of course I didn't kill him.
The lieutenant turns the page in the little notebook he's been...
Let's go.
Let's go.
Not so fast. You owe me 130 real.
As you blow this joint, behind you, a whiny...
Real mature, man. Real mature.
Сука, это трэш. Какая-то порная хуйня какая-то. Так. Будь здорова. В чем прикол? Тут опыт зачем нужен? А, патчи прокачать, да? А. Прикольно. Интеллект 5, физиология, моторика. Прикольно. Типа РПГшка.
Yes? What do you want to know? Maybe you can tell me what you do know, to help me narrow it down a bit. Then you are not that far behind, actually. Do you want me to brief you? 3 days ago, the RCM Emergencies Desk received a report about a security guard who was found hanged in Martinez. During that time, the victim had been stripped of his belongings. The caller did not identify him, but used the word lynching. There is a security guard or worker of some sort hired by Webb. They didn't identify themselves in any way. There's a strong prejudice against involving the RCM in what's seen as union matters. The Dock Workers Union is the de facto police in Martin. That's us, the Revachol Citizens.
The RCM, or the Revachol Citizens Militia, is the police force you and him are part of.
Just to be clear, we are police officers. It's our job to find the killer. That's the case. Uncover and arrest the killer. No, It's not a particularly mysterious case. The deceased is a security guard for a corporation involved in a labor dispute. It doesn't take a DeLorean polymath to put the pieces together. I just don't see the case getting more mysterious than that. There was some interest in this case at my station, but not for the reasons you have in mind. Yes, it just so happens there's a beautiful blonde 19-year-old woman.
The weary tone is the surest indicator that the lieutenant is being sarcastic.
That's commendable.
It can still be an otherworldly sex mystery. He's basically challenging you to sex it up with some lurid twist. Don't get right into it.
I'm afraid you and I are pawns in a you don't know. I assumed you were in on it. That's good. Better still than an imbecile cop-off. It's just stupidity. We shouldn't waste any more time on it. If you want my take, ask me after later. Was there anything else you wanted? You mean like a brief? Do you want me? There's no reason to wing anything. 3 days ago, the RC. During that time, the victim had been stripped of his belongings. Okay then. Was there anything? Good.
Легендарно манящая брачная тайна.
Me? I don't see how my life is pertinent to the investigation. That's a fair point. All right, for the good of the investigation, what do you want to know? That's correct.
You feel a slight urge to put the lieutenant down for this, but you can't quite muster enough testosterone.
Are they? They are mostly. That's because I'm half Seolite, or quarter. My father's father was from Seoul. It's a part of the world, officer.
Seoul is a protectionist, isolationist, pan-Isolary state where
You're barking up the wrong tree. I don't speak a word of Seolite.
a point of pride to him.
No.
The lieutenant nods.
That's what I get.
What do you mean? I have no idea.
The lieutenant's conceptualization skills must be rather rudimentary.
I can't say that it.
The lieutenant produces. We all have our different mediums.
Good. Let's change the subject.
No response. He's having trouble processing it, believing it even.
Have you tried concentrating on something other than your personal affairs? Fine. We should get through this day first. Off hours begin at 9 p.m. If you're still having trouble then, I can give you an orientation. Not a fan.
The RCM deploys a self-styled structure called the Decomptage as its chain of command. Every lieutenant is responsible for two.
Try work. The case at hand. It can work miracles. Really? You look fine to me. This psychodrama is.
Clearly, he prefers to think you're malingering.
Then you should consider seeking medical attention. You can use the radio in my kinema to call your station's Lazareth. Was there anything else you wanted?
Молодец.
Hello, sweetie.
Wait, who's Sweetie?
Why, you are, officer. And have you found anyone to be sweet to?
What was with that fucking wig?
I see you are still grieving. Well, you must forgive me. I'm getting so... I'm Lena. My husband Morel and I are staying with our friend.
This Lena is wacky enough for the motley crew. Hire her on the spot.
Yes, dear.
A paraplegic is someone with limited or no ability to use the lower half of their body. Paraplegia is caused by spinal cord injuries.
That's quite all right. I'm used to people asking questions. I know they're... Yes, officer. You look rather dazed. Like a stunned fox. But surely things can't be that bad. Oh my. You know where we are, right? That's right. And where is the Whirling in Rags cafeteria? It's... Yes, indeed. We are in the fine city of Revachol. How would I even begin to tell you? Revachol is... I haven't seen very many other cities. Speaking of history, you know what year it is, yes? That's right, dear. How splendid. Here, take this pen.
Her relief is palpable. She was getting...
I can tell that this is taxing for you, so I'll just ask one more question. What regime are we living under? What mode of government? Oh, no. Nothing like that, dear. Revachol is a zone of control led by an alliance of foreign... Oh, dear. This is troubling. You really ought to know that. But we should stop for today, sweetie.
She's scared now. She's realized you really are brain damaged.
A defeat, I'm afraid. The people of this archipelago tried to build something new, something... It has something to do with everything. I really don't know how to explain it better. You didn't do too well, dear. You really only knew what...
A sigh.
But maybe a fresh set of eyes is what the world needs. Someone more educated in sweep...
No, I'm not an encyclopedia.
Of course. Then I don't know. Someone rich, maybe? Wealthy people...
That's a good point. This doesn't look like Rich Central.
Whatever do you mean? Sequence killers? Oh my. But I think you already have a partner, sweetie.
A partner who needs you to help him get a corpse down from a tree. I can assure you with absolute certainty.
Now, gentlemen, no need to squabble. I wouldn't be a thank you, but Martinez isn't the most wheel. Perhaps another time. Of course, dear. Good luck with your case.
Эта мартышка меня впарила. Где-то ботинок должен быть. Буду залезть. Залезть. смысле, я же зашел. Нашел. Ну
Yes?
The bed is cold and not particularly inviting.
The option to go to sleep becomes available every night.
Yes?
я же нашел. Че он тупит? Я же пошел. Почему он не выполнился задание? Нашел ботинок.
The RCM in Martinez. What can I help you with? We don't see a lot of police around here. Of course. What can I help you with? Of course. Where to? Oh, that's...
Even all the way over here, there's a drop of death in...
What do you mean? Yes, sir. District of...
He knows where we are. He just wants directions.
There's the pier, the Cape Side apartment buildings, the harbor gates, some kind of commotion, I think. Some shops and a bridge. Just coast. It's just water. No, actually, I think they call it the Martinez Inlet. No problem.
She's very well composed.
Me?
She hides it well, but behind the sweat and dirt there is something else in her rigid posture.
Is there?
The quickness of the reply certainly does not prove you wrong.
I'm working. I have a greenhouse in the yard there. Well, as you already know, there's...
Don't worry, miss. We are here.
Mhm.
Salts? Ammonium salts. Perhaps useful for later.
Of course. I won't hold you back.
If there's a corpse, then you're going to need those gloves for the...
Sure, keep them. I have another pair.
Welche Spulitze?
Hello, sir. Step right in. The store is open. Are you interested in a new and exciting book?
С британским акцентом говорит.
It's a bookstore, sir. We sell books, postcards.
Books? Postcards? Easy. Even a kid would know all of this.
Yes, that's exactly it. You got it, sir. What about board games? Okay, sir. This was all very enlightening. Okay, sir. I'll try to answer any. My name is Annette, sir. My mum, her name is Plaisance. She owns the store. Feel free to step in and browse our wares. I'm signalling that the store is open. Otherwise, people might not know. They'd miss out on the crime, romance, and biographies of famous people. Thank you, sir. I'm happy to help Mum out with the store. I do my studies at home at the moment. I have to help Mum keep this place running. Mum says it's necessary to do both because it builds character.
There is stress and unease behind these words.
Mum says it's peachy. She was a little afraid at first. There's talk about this house being cursed. Cursed in the way that makes them say that no business has ever really thrived here, sir. That they all go, exactly. But we've been doing fine so far.
We can go into the bookstore and ask about the case, but I don't see much more to look into.
Yes. Please do also look at our wares inside. The postcards and board games are there, sir. Nothing really, sir. Mum doesn't allow me to sneak around in the back rooms or the cellar.
It does not manifest itself in any way. It does not exist. No such thing.
Anything else you wanted to talk about, sir? Maybe I can tell you about some of our books instead. Crime fiction is about murders or burglaries or things like that. And the work of a and it's kind of like a puzzle too. You don't look much like a policeman. Didn't mean to offend, sir. Sorry, sir. It's just that you don't look like Dick Mullen. Head? Yeah.
No, you're not head, child. Heads.
No, he's wicked smart in the stories. Like you, sir, of course. He's just a fictional character. Maybe you can show me some real police work, sir. It's the type of book where there's a rich lady and she has to choose between the good man, or there could be a story about a poor lady getting a rich man. It's about man and lady business, sir. These are not very common. You can't have a choice between bad. Well, maybe then it's fine. Maybe if the lady then decides not to pick either, because she doesn't need a bad man. Yes, it happens, but usually the guy gets rich in the process. Or should I? Those are unhappy books, for most of the pages. That's really not a proper romance story. That's more like everyday life.
Что-то я с этой хуйни.
Not in romance books, sir. These are about nice and pretty people, and everyone is happy in the... I haven't read many of those. Maybe you should ask Mum. I don't think it's a romance story if the main characters break up, though. No, yes, she knows, but...
What was that? An idea for an unfinished novel stuck somewhere in your forebrain?
Maybe some about other books?
The girl keeps her hands folded, hidden. Why is that?
What do you mean, sir?
She looks around anxiously. The lieutenant stands by, looking at the two. She brings out her reddened hands.
And you knew this from me keeping my hands folded? Well, that proves nothing. Anyone could do an easy deduction like that.
She nods, half provocative, half enthusiastic.
Maybe so, sir. Okay, I know it's a bad habit, and I shouldn't. It was okay, sir.
There's more that can be achieved here. Ask her to do the same.
You're quite sober.
The lieutenant does not flinch at the comment. He does not flinch even a single bit. He is intensely not flinching. It takes effort.
Because you usually aren't. I'm sorry, sir. I hope things get better.
There she stands, swaying on her feet. Assaulted. There's something you're missing.
Oh, kings and queens and generals of old, or artists and writers. I think that's why people read them.
Seems like most people who read those books fail to get more famous from reading them.
But it does make the famous people more famous.
Annette's expression remains ever so helpful, but she doesn't say anything.
Okay.
You have absolutely no idea. Familiar? How? You must have forgotten something you heard again.
О, да, игра прикольная.
Kuno's got this.
If there ever was such a thing as an ugly kid,
Как
Oh
выглядит.
yeah, Nappa Comfy Kuno. Can't talk, pig. Shit's coming up strong.
shit coming up strong. That sounds good. Joyous. You should hang out with this kid. I mean drugs. The kid's on drugs.
Yeah, Kuno, right then. Kuno's riding at sea. The rake, Kuno! You should throw the rake at him! The fuck? Does Kuno know what a rake is? Kuno's not a gardener. Fuck no! Kuno doesn't buy.
Fast. This kid has got street smarts.
We shouldn't do anything. You will see.
The language these kids are using. Pure, unfettered id. There will be no reasoning with those
The fuck are you? He's calling us Kuno. He says we're fucking each other. Alright, entertain the Kuno. Show me what you.
The kid moves his hands like a basketball player dribbling fast.
Kuno's Kuno, pig?
It's always Kuno, never I. Clearly the kid's using the third-person perspective as a shield.
Yeah? Kuno's in a fucking gang. In a bang gang. Watch out, Kuno! He's trying to fiddle you! He's gonna put his hands on you! Help! Pig's got Kuno! Help! Rape! Help! He's got the Kuno out!
Everyone can hear. You need to get the hell out of here before.
Everybody! Escalate, Kuno! Is Pig's in here, Kuno! Somebody, please!
How did we get here? How did this happen? This makes no sense. There may still be a way out. Just appeal to his reason.
No!
The nearly psychopathic way they can slip in and out of the act implies you're not the first victim.
Fucking logical! Help! The logical pig is fiddling. No one. Kuno's doing this because. Help! The pig's gagging him! Kuno can't speak!
You put him up to this yourself when you did.
Listen to your friend. Help! The RCM is trying to fuck Kuno in the ass. Help! Misters, help! He's flashing Kuno. He's showing his genitals. If you don't help Kuno now, look.
For emphasis, a ghost is saying this. A shit.
I know you wanted to hit me. You got that. I'm gonna fuck that Kuno up.
Relax. He can't read your mind. There's a dead body. Remember, that's what you were doing here. You're a cop on a case.
I can. Kuno can smell that violent shit. I'm gonna fuck that Kuno up. You're nothing! You're a joke to Kuno!
Kuno turned you into his prison, bitch!
No, you're not. We can just...
Bitch, you're gonna be in this shit with...
A peepo is a type of hat, by the way.
You don't talk to me about my fucking peeper! You don't know where I come from! You just... Kuno's...
Okay. Kuno is kind to his bitch. Ask your questions, but remember, this...
Click, 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 click!
Shitload pig. What's your question?
Don't tell the pig
This is where you quickly ask him questions. Real cop questions. Like a cop.
Probably climbed. Kuno was busy down the road when... You heard Kuno? Kuno wasn't even in Martinez. Kuno wasn't in... I don't know. Some fucking... Mesk or... I don't know. Some other place. Night City. Kuno was in fucking Night City.
There is no Night City anywhere. That sounds like the name of a city in some pulp science.
Kuno gives this info out on a need-to-know basis, and...
Thanks, Kuno. That's one name you can now cross off the list.
Just a couple of pigs sniffing around in the dirt.
Yeah, you tell the faggoty Kuno!
Kuno's fuck imp. Kuno uses the fuck imp for talk.
He's trying to hide the fact that he doesn't know.
Kuno knows what you meant. Kuno's not a snitch, that's all. Trying to make Kuno... You're testing Kuno's...
Get lost,
Right, pig? This is where Kuno plays with his little wooden choo-choo. Oh, yeah, whatever. Kuno doesn't give a shit. The fuck about it? You're testing Kuno.
Get lost,
Yeah? The kingdom of Kuno. Yeah, whatever. Kuno doesn't give a shit. Kuno doesn't fucking care.
Yes?
Kuno, the pig's getting pretty close to me. Come to snuff my shit out, I think. Looks like it's time for me to go, Kuno. Pig's come to take me in. I'm going away for a long, long time.
What's going on there? Fuck are you trying to pull, pig?
I come from the woods, good Davidu. You don't want to go there with me. You don't want to see what I...
Don't be traumatizing here.
I'll die before I squeal, pig. Murder was the case they gave me. I'll die before I What's this kid shit? Fucking mind...
Get the fuck out of it.
So it's a girl. Interesting.
I'll die before I squeal, pig. You don't want to fuck with me. I got my...
You can still see the top of it. The corpse looks at you with bulging white eyes. The face around them does not. You seem to be holding your breath. A cargo belt twists his neck at an unnatural angle. The body below appears stiff. It's letting out an ungodly rot. The smell...
Active decay. It's okay to throw up, officer.
He's about to blow! Cop's gonna blow, Kuno!
The smell is repulsive. It pushes in from your mouth. More You feel a great force ringing from your until a pool of vomit lies under your... The smell of Commodore Red rises from the pool. Among it, distilled spirit.
It's okay. Happens to everyone. Keep it. The hangover is clearly making this worse for you. You could use some ammonia to clear your head. That young woman, the gardener, mentioned she used salts for the smell. If she doesn't have any, there might be some in the fridge.
Acquiring ammonia will provide a modifier to the white check. Modifiers make checks easier and allow you to retry them.
Hello again, officer. How are things? Sure, I'm done with them. Go easy on that stuff. It gave me a terrible headache.
You see a set of tire tracks in the brown slush that covers the plaza mosaic. The tire tracks were left here by an unknown event that took place some days ago. It's a message, written in the language of burnt rubber. Some of that rubber stuck to the tiles right in front of the whirling in rags. This is point A, and then accelerated straight into the fence, left a hole big enough for the driver proceeded to back out of the yard, barely stopping before heading south. Must have been in a hurry.
You are correct. This is a rather motor carriage-friendly city. I'm not sure. There are plenty of traffic accidents waiting to happen in Martinez.
You could follow the track south. There seems to be a canal there. See where they went. If you find... There he still is, looking right through you with his white eyes. The body below is entirely dedicated to that. The ammonia only makes it worse. The combination forces tears out of your ducts. The second time, not so much. When the vomiting is done, your cheeks are wet with tears.
Nor does the wind right now. I've seen strong men turn themselves inside out for hours. You are facing tough odds here. Alcohol withdrawal makes it... I've seen captains puke their guts out. It never gets easier. You never get used to the smell. Then drive to the station. Maybe throw up on the way there if you didn't bag the thing. I think I've lost my sense of smell.
A white lie.
Not being hungover helps too. Okay, you've said it. You needed to say it. You need to get your shit together. We should go talk to the locals. Find something else to do while the wind changes. It's pretty bad right now.
You've gained a thought. When this dialogue is over, go to your...
Give it half an hour. Get yourself together. Then come back and have another go.